Okay, so we're so happy to welcome you. Really, you've built an amazing business in New York, Heritage of India Fashions, which is
Mm.
something just so incredible and unique. And it really brings another culture's beautiful clothing and an aspect of another culture to the US. And we're so happy to be talking to you.
Well, thank you for inviting us. We're delighted to be part of this framework. Framework, right? It's what's the name of the
Farm,
company?
Farmbrook Free Press. It's a little
Oh,
magazine. We're largely
okay.
based in New York, and
Oh, wonderful.
so we really wanted to interview you. We think that it's
Okay.
just amazing.
Okay. Thank you.
Go ahead, Ty.
So I was just curious, what has your journey been, and what eventually brought you to the idea of Heritage of India Fashions?
Okay. Well, I mean, the main concern for us was to bring to our customers very fair pricing, very good quality, and also work with the smaller villages in India. Where you're able to sustain and support families that can continue with their art rather than just go to a factory and just purchase anything and sell it. you know
Yeah.
yeah.
So they're actually from products are from villages where they do it.
Yes, a lot of our products are collected through villages. Well, some things that we do are I design.
Yeah, I saw that.
So
You do a
so
personality.
yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that. Was so
Yeah.
cool. Go ahead, Ty.
So I generally do more of bridal wedding outfits.
Okay.
And I try to make things out of fabrics from the 1850s, 60s.
Wow.
So it's one of a kind. It's completely handmade and it's unique. So our customers love that.
Oh my
It's
God.
and we price it very fairly. We don't go crazy with pricing because it should be fair. It should be fair to everyone.
Good. Good.
Uh, and for me, the main thing is they gotta love what they wear. That's yeah.
That is truly amazing that you started a store and you're supporting villages in India.
Mhm.
And it really, in your like villages, personally, I mean, they're being beaten out by large corporations because when it's easier to make certain products in the cities, it's nice to keep that alive, that handmade. It's just amazing. What made you decide to do what you do in Heritage of India Fashions? What made you decide, okay, let's start a store. What gave you the idea for this store?
Well, I throughout the years I've been working with a lot of designers and so forth, and I went to a fashion event in Los Angeles, and one of the designers, he was selling an Indian item that he designed into a Western look, right? And he was selling it for like $20,000. Right. So I almost had a heart attack when I saw that. I was like, oh my God, they're just ripping people off. That's how I felt. So then I said, I can make this for like $800. Wow, this is insane. So, I said, okay, let me make something. I started making a few pieces and then, just showing to friends and a few designer friends that I have, started showing them like, Prashant, you should just, go online or, sell it, And then I started selling gradually.
How old were you when you did that?
I was like, I would say 27, 28, and then I started selling. And then that same designer, he said, you ruined the market for me.
Oh my God.
Because I was like, because you're ripping people off. That's insane.
For
Are you
you.
crazy?
Good
So
for
now, so now we're not friends anymore. But that's just part of it.
friend to lose.
So that's how I started, and then I actually think of the customer first, then I think of the design, and because I want them to be able to afford it and look good in it. It shouldn't be about making money all the time.
Aw, that's beautiful.
So
Go ahead, Kai.
I read that you have like a team of tailors, fabric suppliers, embroidery artisans in India that bring the designs to life. Can you describe the process of bringing these beautiful designs and these beautiful pieces of traditional clothing to life?
Sure. I have 8 artists that
Oh,
have been working with me for the last 20 years. Uh, and you know how I do it. I draw things on the computer,
oh, nice.
like whatever vision I have in my head. Sometimes I do it on, just draw it on a piece of paper, but the actual thing comes on the computer. I draw it, then I send it over to them. Then I pick out the fabrics that we have in our stockpile. And then I say, okay, this is how I want things done. I want you to stitch it. I order crystals from Austria, Swarovski, and different, rubies and jewels, you can say. And then I have them stitch it according to my design, my style. So this process would take me sometimes a year even to make one outfit, because sometimes I'm so choosy and paranoid that it has to be perfect, you know. But these artists, what we do is how we support them is, they get a monthly salary. Plus, we send their children to school.
Oh,
We've
great.
been sending their kids to school. We pay for their schooling because we don't want them outside on the street playing or begging or anything like that. We want them to get a very good education.
I love it.
And and some of them, 3 of them, are becoming doctors.
Oh my
One is
goodness.
one is becoming a lawyer, and these are girls. We support the girls more because in India the guys are more, you know, valued than the girls are. So we
That,
support. We want to. If the girl says, "I want to be a teacher," let's make you a teacher. Let's do it. Because it's important to. If we can support even 10 families, I think we're fine. It's important to help as much as you can. That's the main key for
that's
us.
beautiful.
you
Love
know.
that. Go ahead, Kai.
You've worked with a variety of Hollywood and Bollywood stars and movies. You've styled a variety of movies. You've designed pieces for, I think, the film Eat, Pray, Love with Julia Roberts. You've also worked with Glenn Close, Martha Stewart, Priyanka Chopra, and many, many celebrities. Did you realize that this store was going to be such a big success and be working with all these people, all these really big people when you founded it?
No. I actually, I did not. I actually just, thought, okay, let me open a store. I'll sell one of a kind items that, will work for the ordinary customer. I didn't think about film stars and so forth, because no one really thinks about. Everybody thinks about them, but they don't imagine them coming over and
That is wild.
purchasing from you. That's something amazing, I think. But uh, I I knew a lot of agents prior. I would interact with them, but it wasn't like business wise. It was just friendly. So the agents would always call me, like say Glenn Close would be going to Dubai for a shoot or a film, and he like, Prashant, I'm gonna send someone over. Just be nice to her.
Aw.
Okay, she's a little crazy. Just be nice to her. So I'd be like, all right. Then I would see her and I'm like, oh, okay, all right. And she's like, listen, I'm going to Dubai. I need this. Okay, I'm like, oh, hold on, calm down. Let's talk for minutes. I don't have time. I have to go to the plane. She was like a high maintenance,
Oh my God.
but she's been our client for the last, I would say, 9 years now.
How cool. How long
You
have
know,
you been open?
we've been open for about 5 years, actually.
Okay, so
So
not that long.
not that long.
Oh, so previously, did you just do it online?
No, well, I was selling privately, and then clients would just the managers or agents would just call me, and I would meet them in person,
Did you
and
go?
then show them some of the styles that we have,
Gotcha.
and slowly we built a friendship with all the stars and the
Oh,
agents, and so I think that's more important
yeah.
than just doing business.
Did you go to school for it?
No, I went to business school.
Oh, okay, cool. Well,
Yeah, I went to business school, and but I always loved design.
okay.
So, and I would see that around me, and throughout my travels, like I would go to smaller villages. When I went to Europe, I just loved the landscape. I said I can bring this into cloth. I can bring it into fabric, and make it something unique. Original. So that I get my ideas through that. I might see a woman selling fruit on a street corner. I might just like, wow, look at that smile she has. I think that color might look really amazing on. So my mind, mine's always worked a little differently and weirdly, I guess. I don't know.
I love that.
I wanted to ask you, so I read, I think it was in NYC Fashion, that your family, like even in the late 1800s, were selling rich velvets and other supplies. So what has your family's journey been in fashion over the years?
Well, I think in India we have been a cloth merchant, you can say. We have had in Delhi. We're from Delhi, so we have had our oldest store is from 1812. We still have it. Yeah. So in our factory in Delhi, it was started in I think 1895.
Wow,
We still have it.
that's
So we have generations and generations working for us. Uh, and we have supplied to a lot of Bollywood, a lot of corporate, uh, Bergdorf, Macy's, Banana Republic, a lot of stores.
amazing.
But I originally felt that we should bring back our heritage, our culture. So I changed the shift a little, you know. But it's family run.
Yeah.
Families fight, but that's normal.
They
we,
should.
we disagree on things, but that's the way things are. Life you can't, everything cannot be perfect.
It's
So but it's still going. The factories are doing well.
great.
During COVID we were closed for like 9 months.
Wow.
We're still closed really right now,
Wow. You're kidding.
because the government doesn't allow it.
What a shame.
Yeah. So, but we still pay our employees.
Oh, very.
We're paying their education because they have to eat.
Yeah.
If they're earning from us, we have profited from them.
Yes.
It's time for us to pay them back in a sense. So
That is
so yeah, you have to. You can't stop a child from going to school because your factory closed. You can't do that.
Go ahead, Kai.
I wanted to ask you, I've seen some of your designs. They're really amazing, but would you consider your designs traditional Indian or a mix between Western and Indian?
Well, originally when I started, it was more Indian. It was traditional Indian. But throughout the years now, in the last 3 years, I've started changing a little more of Western touch. I would give it, but I still like my tradition. I still like the heritage. I can't forget that. That's where I started from. So you can never forget where you start from. But we're doing more Western now. We're thinking of the woman now. We're thinking of if she was just in a jacket. And before, we'd never make jackets for women. I would only make dresses and lehengas and all these things for them. But now I'm starting to think of making corporate kind of suits for them, but with a little bit of embroidery and jewels.
Gorgeous.
But it looks a little elegant, not just over the top things that I've been doing past.
I love it.
So, yeah, thank you.
What was your inspiration? I read also, I think was it your father that had a store in New York as well?
Yeah,
correct?
yeah. My dad, he started the business. He started a clothing company in 1977
Wow.
in Manhattan.
Where?
So he started it on Broadway,
Okay.
on 9th Street and Broadway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he would sell like designer clothing.
Okay.
That's all he would. He would sell zero Indian clothing. He could care less about what was going on in India. So he would sell like, Tommy Hilfiger, Lauren, Martha Stewart,
Oh, cool.
Willie Smith, Peabody. So
Wow.
he would be selling like the designer guy. He wouldn't care what was going on in India. But then I think one day a customer came to me. It's like, hey, do you have a statue of Buddha? And he's like, no. Do you want one? And he's just like, yeah, if you can get me one, I would love to buy one from you.
What?
He's like, all right, I can get one of those for you, no problem. So he calls his contacts in India. It's like, hey, who do we know that can make a Buddha statue for us? And doors started opening, and then he said, okay, I should at least get 10 Buddhas. Why get one? So he had 10 made. They shipped them over. And the customer came. He was so delighted. People started getting to know. You can get statues at the, at his store, and then slowly in like 2 years, he became Indian. Statuettes, kurtas,
Hilarious.
saris. His whole mindset changed.
That is wild.
He left the Western designers behind. Then he's like, yeah, we don't need to sell that.
That is
Did it enough.
fascinating.
That's yeah. So you learn.
Yeah. And
I've learned a lot from him. I learned a lot from my mom. It's a family is a business, so you get to you learn from each other, kind of thing. But for us, starting Heritage was a concept that I wanted to do separately from selling statues and so forth.
do your parents still have a store?
Yeah, it's a family owned. I never like to do things like separate. I want to have the whole family part of it.
Oh, beautiful. That way you know others if something goes wrong.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We can blame each other. Yeah, you did this wrong. This is not the way it's done.
I didn't do it.
I didn't do it. Or you need to go on a vacation. You can just be like, hey, can someone sit over? Or
I love it. That's so funny. Go ahead, Kai.
What do you feel sad by the fact that you guys are a business in New York? You're selling Western and also mainly like these beautiful Indian pieces of clothing. What do you feel is said by the fact that New Yorkers love it so much and it is joyed by so many people in the city?
Oh well, I think New Yorkers are very diverse. Group of people for sure. I mean, they want to learn, and they love different cultures. So that's what I find. This is the easiest city to start a business. They'll give you a chance.
Oh,
You just need to you just need to take it.
Yes.
Don't be afraid. Take it.
Right.
Take the leap. But here, I just love the mix of cultures.
Yeah.
You get to meet. I meet Iranians. I meet people from South. Same place, same store. They're all talking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's all political. It's all political.
That's a
I think people. Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah, because people really just want to be safe, be happy, and just live their lives. I think it's all political. I think just getting people against each other and so forth. That's just my little opinion.
Yeah, I love it.
An opinion by me.
Bravo. Go ahead,
Kai. What advice would you give to someone when it comes to buying clothing or even starting a business? What advice would you give to someone?
Well, first thing first, you have to make sure that you have something very unique that you're selling, and the prices are very fair because the market is very competitive. You have to be sure, and the quality of your cloth, whatever you sell, a pencil. Make sure the pencil writes. Make sure it's whatever color you want it to be. It works. You can draw. You can, it has to. Your customers. You have to pinpoint what clientele you want to sell your product to, And if you want to open a business, a store, you do some research. Look at the location, look at the locality, look at the people that live there.
Yes.
You know, if you want to sell a luxury item, I don't think you want to go to the Bronx and sell it, you know, because it all depends. If you want to open it, maybe you want to sell, say you have an item for $10,000. Chelsea, Soho. I'm just giving you examples. You know, always look at the market. Where do you want to sell your product, and just take a chance.
Aw,
And right now, New York is the best time to take a chance because there's so much vacant stores.
I know.
You
Crazy.
know, so much vacant stores, and landlords will give you what you want.
New businesses are popping up though. I think
Yeah, sorry.
it's a good signal.
Yeah, well, a lot of old businesses are closing. You know, because
Heartbreaking.
some of the landlords are just not willing to budge
Yeah.
with the rents, and it's tough.
Yes.
You know, when you're closed for 9 months with
Oh
no
my-
business.
Oh my goodness.
You know,
When did you reopen?
we opened in September.
Oh wow. So you guys took a lot of time off.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
June when they officially said that we can open on June 15th or something, and we came in to the city to check. Then we had an inspector come in. They're like, "Oh no, you have to wait because there's some guidelines." And then we're like, "No, we have the guidelines. They said we can open." And they're like, "No, you can't. You have to wait for the guidelines." And we're like, "What guidelines?" You need to wear a mask. You need to check fever. You need to, you know, sanitize. You need to, you know, I don't. What do you need? They're like, "Well, no.
Can
You
you
need to."
owning a restaurant right now?
Oh, the restaurant people are dying.
Oh, I know.
They're crippled.
You know what I bought? I bought a personal heater so I can go to any place and I just bring it. Has a little propane on the bottom.
Right.
Yeah. I got it for Christmas. It was awesome. Go ahead, Kai.
I do want to say, like, I want to say 75% of our people that watch this and read our magazine and are involved in this are in New York. So we'll edit something, and please go check out heritageofindiafashions.com, your website, to learn more.
Thank you.
You can visit, where is your store is?
It's 131 Lexington Avenue, New York, New York.
Yeah, so go check it out there.
I'll see you there.
Okay. Okay. Thank you
so much.
You're most welcome.
Have a lovely day.
You too. Thank you. Bye.
All right. And then let's.
Yeah.
All right. I think we finished the recording.